Well, it's the first time this gas tank has probably been down off this car, El Camino, for, I don't know, since 1978, but maybe not, I don't know. I see they spliced a wire back here, and I didn't realize this had a ground wire. Maybe the ground wire is the problem, but in any case, I'm taking this all down because the one part I couldn't get the frame coated from rust was under the gas tank. Although it's not bad, it's got a little surface rust on it. I'm going to take care of that, clean out this gas tank, and I'll probably change that sending unit in any way because the gas gauge was always kind of flaky. Not the gauge itself, but the reading. I'm assuming it's from the sending unit. So I'm going to actually cut this wire, this orange wire. This is the ground. I didn't realize that was another wire that was connected to the fuel. There must be one coming back from the gauge. Then there's a ground that goes from the sending unit to the body. That could have been the problem the whole damn time, but I don't know. It's not a very accurate gauge. You can see there's some rust back there, surface rust. I want to take care of all that with the hot water pressure washer, and go over it with some of that awesome cleaner. Then we'll hit it with the rust converter, Rust-Oleum shit, and rusty metal primer and some freaking enamel stuff. So it should be pretty good after that. Anyway, let me cut this wire and get it down and see what it looks like, and I'll probably coat it. I got some red coat left over. Well, the gas tank's out. Not that easy to get it out by yourself, but I took two jack stands. You can see I flipped them over on the side when I had them finally lowered. Just kind of ratcheted them down one side at a time. And I'm probably going to check this gauge anyway, because it looks like this is the that's a ground wire, and that one goes back to the fuel gauge. And the way this works is that, let's see, how does that work again? When it's grounded, I think it says it's full. I forgot which way it works again, to tell you the truth. But I tested the gauge in the vehicle, grounded it and not grounded it, checked the power and the ground to the gauge itself, and then I checked it with the area where the fuel sending unit was going. Gauge works. So I forget if you ground it. I think that's, I forgot which way it is. I think if you, I'm probably saying, it might be saying it wrong. I think if you ground, you have a broken wire, it says empty. If you have it grounded, I'm not sure which way it is. To tell you the truth, I forgot. I'll post it down there in the bottom. I keep forgetting which way that is, but I know I got it written down someplace. But obviously my problem could have been this ground wire, but this thing looks like it's never been out ever. This ground wire was repaired one time, but these are original clamps. This bend in the hose like that's like original. I don't think this gas tank has ever been out of here, this damn thing, since 1978. So what I'm going to do is I'll pressure wash it with the hot water. I have a hot water hook up to my pressure washer, and I'll also put the what do you call it on there, the awesome cleaner, scrub brush it down. And this, I don't know, probably PB Blaster, put transmission fluid on it a bunch, and it just could be a bad connection, but then again, this thing's getting changed. But if you look up in here, you look up in there, it's not too rusty. There's no rust throughs, but there's some surface rust. I'm going to blast the crap out of that, and this is one good opportunity to get this all taken care of in here. And I did break one of the bolts. Whoops. Did break one of the bolts on my bumper mount, taking it off the impact. So I might break all of them off and change them off with put stainless steel bolts in there, man. Because these freaking, I'm sure they've been in there since 1978 also. And some of these other bolts that are sticking through the bed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the wire wheel on them and clean them up real good. And I'll probably make that mixture of acetone and transmission fluid, spray them down, see if I can loosen them a little bit and retighten them. and then I'll paint them, rust killing primer and stuff. So hopefully they don't freaking screw up, or maybe I'll put a stainless steel nut on there. I'm gonna kind of nitpick this damn thing. So, you know, I got time to do this, and you know, I'm constantly working on something. So it's like there's no moss that grows under these feet, so I'm always doing something. This was a little more of a pain in the ass than I thought, but whatever. You know, you go to one thing to another. You know, maybe it's a good time to change the springs while this is out, but then again, I ain't gonna do that shit. You know. But anyway, this is gonna be my Tennessee buggy, so gotta make it reliable. So after I do this, if I get this bumper off, I do the rest of the rust, and I'll do the timing chain, the water pump, fuel pump, and maybe the heat riser and shit, so there's no exhaust leaks or nothing. And yeah, at least now, tomorrow I'll probably just shoot it down really good with the I'm gonna spray this down with PB Blaster right now to see if I can get this thing loose. Boy, that's gonna be a bitch. Well, we got some PB Blaster. It's not bad shit to use. I mean, it's not, and there's better. Been hearing the transmission fluid and the acetone's the best shit to use, man. And I'm gonna definitely start using that, because this crap's a few bucks every time you use. I don't use much of it, but well, we'll see what happens with that. So tomorrow I'll be blasting the crap out of this thing, put those jack stands away, and put the air hammer away, and see what the fuck happens, man. And I'll tell you what. Yeah, this thing hasn't been off the. This thing has not been down off the. I know they repaired this wire, but this thing has not been off the car, because if it was, I changed that clamp. I remember I changed that clamp a long time ago. But those hoses with those bends like that, they got to be original. Those are original hoses. I probably got 20 feet of that fuel line, brand new, laying around. So I'll change those damn things out. I'll change all those hoses in there and shit. I mean, this will be rust proofed and all this other crap, but God, it's getting a new sending unit. I'm just curious if it still actually works, because maybe it could have been at ground. This fucking thing, God, it's a lot of fun working on something almost 40 years old. But here's what I got to take the bumper off for, is that, see the rust? I mean, I could probably get around that. I really could if I wanted to. And you know, if I really don't want to take the bumper off, I just might do that too, you know. I got that. Got this down here. This door is actually a hell of a lot worse than you think. It's a lot worse than you think. And but that's easy to fix. The door is a pain in the ass to fix. That's easy to fix right there. This is easy to fix too. This isn't hard, and this isn't even that bad either. That isn't even that bad, hard to fix either. So there's nothing on the rocker panels, and I'll get on the inside of them. But you know what's going to be a pain in the ass to fix? The floor in the back, way back here, it's got a hole in it. That means all that shit's got to come out. I'll probably fix that while the gas tank is out, because I can weld. Because I think the fuel lines come down this way, and that might be the way to do it, right? When the gas tank is out. So anyway, I'll probably get that rust spot while this thing is out of the vehicle, because I might be welding in there, and I'll probably put some epoxy. But that one spot in the back on the floor is the one thing that's a pain in the ass, because it's way back there, and it's there's gas lines going right underneath it, shit like that. So I'll put some metal or something between the gas line and the floor when I'm welding it. But at least the gas tank will be out of the vehicle. Well, it looks like I'm home free. I got the float out, and that's the lock ring right here. Right here, that's the lock ring. I was thinking this shit was the lock ring. I was hammering around here. kind of tap around here, but here's the rubber gasket right here. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's what happens when you don't read the book. But this thing has to be original because, you know, this is split down here. It's rusty a little bit down here. You know, you can see it's split right there. It's rusty. I don't think it may work, but then again, it never was that. It was always flaky. It was always flaky. This feels like, I don't know. Well, lasted 40 years, man, almost. So get this damn thing back in here and just leave that on top of there. I'll empty out the gas tank tomorrow, and I don't know if you can see down there. It's not much gas, but yeah, it's fucking. Let me do it this way. Where's my light? There it is. You can see down there in the bottom of the tank, it's got like a slight amount of surface rust. Slight amount. So I'll dump this gas out. I'll wash it out with vinegar a lot, let it soak for a week, and then you know, spray it out with water and detergent. It's going to take me a while. This thing will be all like brand new though. But that's the beauty of when you're doing your own work, because if this was a garage, man, they would just slap this bitch back together again, and then, you know, I mean, it'll probably work, but I mean, you're not going to go through all the extra steps to make it last another 50 years or something. Because if I coat this a red coat, and it's not in bad shape, and all this stuff is you know, chemically cleaned, and the rust is all taken off of it, it's got a good coat of primer and paint, it's going to last 50 years more. So, because I plan to last at least 50 years more. So anyway, that's good. I'm glad this is cool. So I can go order this. This is a 2-wire. It's a 17-gallon gas tank. There's a 22-gallon gas tank, but you're better off with the 17-gallon because the 22 has problems with venting, I've heard. But you know, you could probably fix that. And let me look up to make sure. I believe if the wire is broken to the back of the gas tank, then a gauge reads full. If the wire is grounded, it reads empty. But let me double check that. Okay, so if your gas gauge is reading full, you could have a bad ground. You know, if it's always reading full and the gas gauge is always the gas tank is empty itself, it could have a bad ground. That could be this wire that I just actually cut it, but it could have been corroded here, or I don't know, it could have been something, it could have been corroded to the body. That could have been the problem, but this sending unit was always kind of flaky because the gauge read full for too long, and then when it started getting down, it would go fast, and it would be like at half and then a quarter. It was all over the place, man. But I always was able to tell about how much gas I had in the tank. That's how it was since I had it. I've had this car since '91, so this is a good change. Now, if your gas gauge, like say for instance, the wire is rubbed through someplace, going back to the sending unit, like this wire, and it's touching the body, that's grounding it out. That'll make the gas gauge read empty. If the wire is broken, going back to the sending unit, or the wire is broken to the ground, then it's going to read full. You know, that's the wiring part, but then it could be the sending unit itself, which this thing is definitely the original one. Look how rusty that shit is, man. And those are definitely the original hoses with these bend like that. I got some hoses that have somewhat of a curve in them because they're on a roll. So when I put them on, they'll have a curve, just like this. I don't know what that's for. It might be for something. I don't know what. But yeah, this will be cool. This will be cool. Take me a little while, but I'll get this straightened out really good. That's what's cool. Like if you do it yourself, because you could take your sweet ass time. Let shit. I got a little mini sandblaster. I can kind of go over this with the sandblaster a little bit too on the outside, and then de-rust it and crap, vinegar and shit. I could make it look brand new again. And you know, beats buying a brand new tank for $100-something bucks, and it'll probably be better than a brand new tank unless it's stainless steel brand new tank. But that ain't gonna be $100-something bucks. It'll be like $200-something bucks or more. So anyway, this is cool. This is cool. And anyway, kind of happy camper. So anyway, here we go.